Hello, I'm Deb Firth, Grade 1 teacher at Lakeview Elementary School in Lethbridge. I'm your host for this edition of A Public Education. The trickster words. It's not the big words that fool little kids like squirrel and elephant and the ones that you've had here already. This is my 23rd year with Lethbridge School District 51, and the last 19 or so of those 23 years have been teaching grade 1. Look at so many of them, 2 letters. And those are the ones that fool kids the most for some reason. When I'm asked why do I stay in grade 1, I just think this is such a magical year for kids. Aside from kindergarten, I just love introducing students to their first formal year of schooling and getting them excited about learning. And that's certainly not to say that there isn't a lot of challenges the first few weeks of school with full day schooling, because it's quite a change for them. But no matter what grade you teach, it's so rewarding, not only for the child but the teacher, when a child finally gets something and they understand something that's been so hard for them before. And that certainly happens regularly in grade 1 as they're learning to read and write. And it certainly affirms that all your hard work is paying off. One of the greatest things about teaching grade 1 is that you're really with them right from the start. And when you see them at their grade 12 graduation, or they come back to visit, it's just so fun to reminisce about what they were like their first week of school, and perhaps that they were crying for the first 3 weeks of school, and you just look at them now and they're just young adults ready to make it on their own. And I have some really special memories of all my students. Probably the best thing about being in the teaching profession is that you're just opening up the world to kids, and you're getting them started on just such an exciting adventure. And one of the things I have in my room is a little saying that says, kids don't care what you know until they know you care. And I hope that if nothing else, those kids leave grade 1 knowing they are loved and cared for more than they can even imagine.
I mean that. Grass.
Give me 5. Good reading. Good. Okay. Coming up in this episode of A Public Education, the Achieve program at Pitcher Butte High School. The U of L Faculty of Education's annual literature fair, drumming up a sense of community at St. Francis Junior High. We meet Cheryl Gilmore, the new superintendent of Lethbridge School District 51, and the hopes and dreams of some of this year's incoming student teachers at the University of Lethbridge. That's all coming up on A Public Education. Recently, students and staff at St. Francis Junior High traded their pens and pencils for drumsticks and took part in a school-wide exercise in community building. For students at St. Francis, it was a day of learning about the Japanese art of taiko drumming.
Up, up. Up, up.
Twyla McLeod and Greg Shimizu are co-founders of Booming Tree, an Edmonton-based performance group.
We call ourselves Canada's taiko duo. We do taiko. Our group is the foundation of our performances are based on the tradition of Japanese drumming, known as taiko. And today we're here doing a full-day class of teaching people the art of taiko, using taiko drums and everything and anything we can get our hands on, because there's going to be about 500 people at the end of the day making some noise.
The event was called Together We Drum. Teacher Corey Vanoni said it was a rare opportunity for the school's 500 students to work alongside school staff and drummers from across Alberta on a single project.
Our whole school has come together. They've all brought pails in so they can pound on pails and drums and whatever. And so they've been building towards this event for a month now. We've brought in Canada's top taiko duo, and we've brought in the Lethbridge Community Taiko Group, And we also have Midnight Taiko out of Calgary. We've brought in the Blackfoot drummers to meld those drummers together as a community, right? Kind of like the very first beat you ever heard was your mother's, right? And that's probably the closest connection you'll ever have in your life. So what we want to do is we want to have the kids connect through one heart or one drum and come together as a group and try and create more community in our school.
So it's going to go, we drum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We drum. We drum.
Throughout the day, Greg and Twyla delivered 45-minute drumming lessons to groups of approximately 60 eager students.
They always get really excited and they never want to stop. Like when we stop to do explanations in between, you know, there's always somebody who's like, I can't stop, I can't stop. So it's very exciting, and I think one of the nice things about taiko is they get to be loud, they get to be expressive, and they get to do it together. It's like an acceptable forum to express oneself.
Needless to say, taiko drumming was a big hit with the students.
Hitting stuff with a stick is always really fun.
You could feel the pounding in your heart, like how hard it was going, like you can feel it.
It was about bringing everybody together and like communicating and, you know, bringing everyone together to all do one simple task.
At the end of the day, all the groups came together for a final performance. The day of drumming was an example of an asset-building activity at the school, an innovative approach of preparing young people for success.
I wasn't too sure how it was going to go, but wow, the excitement in that room is incredible. The kids are talking about it. You see them in the hallways. They're just having a fantastic time.
When we come back, student success in Pitcher Butte High School's Achieve program. Welcome back to A Public Education. A program at Pitcher Butte High School called Achieve is helping students rebuild the confidence and skills they'll need to succeed in school. At Pitcher Butte High School, Achieve is an acronym for a program that helps kids put their education back on track.
We basically work with kids for whom school is not easy, and we try to find what they need so that we can assist them to be successful and move on in life. Our kind of end goal is that they're going to be, you know, positive contributing citizens when they graduate from high school, and we just try to get them there.
Teacher Natalie Townsend runs the Achieve program. In a specially designed classroom, equipped with individual learning spaces and a central gathering area, Natalie delivers an alternate education to students with special learning needs.
There are kids who traditional school just does not work for them. I know that, you know, the movement is inclusiveness and those kinds of things, but sometimes there are just kids for whom the inclusive classroom is torture. And as a result, they end up dropping out, sometimes as some of our students do in elementary, sometimes in junior high, sometimes in senior high. Sometimes they're kids who have very difficult family situations, kids who live in poverty, kids who have been subjected to abuse and neglect, and lots of times, unfortunately, they've kind of been written off. And we don't believe they should be thrown away.
The students start out full-time in this class and are gradually reintegrated into regular classrooms.
I don't know, I just kind of like always skipped out, and I didn't really do my work or anything, so I was really behind. And then my grade 10 year, I started doing better. I was still behind on my schoolwork, and I was getting better, like my attitude and everything towards the school and the class. Like I started getting better. Like I like this place a lot more, and well, like now I'm really glad that I came back here, and I'm doing a lot better this year. So.
For students like Ashley Hansen, who has dropped in and out of school since grade 6, the program provides the support she needs to become a more engaged student.
It's been going really good. At first, I started in the room, and then I got integrated into grade 9 social and LA. Grade 10, I was integrated into Math 10C and Science 10. And then this year I'm taking social chem and physics.
Natalie works with a teacher assistant, a child and youth care worker, and a family school liaison counselor. The team provides individual work plans designed for each of the 10 to 12 students enrolled in the program.
Our goals for the kids vary. It really depends on where the student is and what they want out of life. So for some of our kids, it's reintegrating. It's teaching them the skills that they need so that they can be successful in the regular classes. For other kids, it's simply helping them find a way to stay in school for 12 years, to find a way that they feel successful, that they're not out on the street getting into trouble. For some of our kids, it's finding a career that they want to work towards and helping them to get the courses they need to get into whatever program it is.
I have a few things going on right now. Like I want to be a chef, but that might work out, it might not, but that's what I'm trying to aim for right now. Or be like a social worker, somebody like that, helping kids, since that actually seems like a pretty good job.
We have expectations for these kids. We don't just say, oh, well, we're just going to get through the day. We say, no, no, no. We're going to find a way. We're going to learn this so that you move forward in who you are in your education. And that's one of the really critical things is education is the key for a lot of things. Even just that sense of accomplishment that I made it through 12 years of school, did all of my work, and learned stuff.
This year, approximately 220 students are beginning the Faculty of Education's 2-year teacher preparation program at the U of L. At an orientation held last month, we spoke to some of them about their hopes and expectations.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. As a faculty, we are extremely happy to have you join us this morning, and we are very excited about the possibilities of working together with you over the semesters to come.
I could not be more excited. I'm finally here and I'm finally ready.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. Couldn't sleep last night.
I'm I think a little bit more nervous than excited. I just need to get through my first week and I'm sure I'll love it.
This is something I've been waiting to do for a long time, and this program is going to make it happen like right away for me. So I'll be able to get into a classroom right away, be able to start teaching hopefully in a couple years. So yeah.
I'm very excited. Yeah, I had butterflies so big that they actually jumped into my girlfriend's stomach as well. So yeah.
Over the next 2 or 3 years, you will learn to be a professional. At the same time, you develop the knowledge, skills, and attributes defined for successful teaching in Alberta. The journey will have many moments of uncertainty each time you face new and sometimes unforeseen challenges.
I want to be a high school music teacher. That's where I want to go with that. I want to do instrumental music.
Well, I really do enjoy environmental education. It is definitely a passion of mine. The natural world is somewhere that I find myself all the time, and sharing that with others has always been a huge thing. But also music, also communication technology, also social studies.
I think I just grew up around a lot of kids. I never really had older cousins or a lot of older siblings, and so I was more prone to playing with the younger kids, and I really started to like just seeing how they grow and listening to what they had to say, and that they took everything that I was saying and applying it to their life, and it was really cool.
I guess it's just like a way to impact people in a very direct way. Like there's lots of career paths that you can affect people in sort of an abstract way, but when you're teaching, you're actually in a room with people, teaching them how to do things, how to be people, how to be grown-ups eventually, I guess. So.
Coming up after the break, raising literacy awareness at the Faculty of Education's Literature Fair. Welcome back to A Public Education. A literature fair held recently at the University of Lethbridge highlighted the significance of literacy to first-year student teachers in the Faculty of Education.
Being a kines major, it's not on our minds most of the time. We're focused on sport and physical activity, but the truth is, at the end of the day, reading, writing, and proper literacy and communication is probably the most important thing in any regards in education.
It was the Faculty of Education's 12th annual Literature Fair, a chance for incoming education students to share great literature and learn about the major role literacy will play in their lives as teachers.
Well, because I'm a math major, so I never really thought going into this thing, I'm like, how would I ever incorporate books into my classroom because it's math? But I went to the very first one, the math session, and it was an eye-opener of how the different math books there are to incorporate in the classroom.
The one-day event featured a panel discussion and a variety of workshops on topics ranging from graphic novels and FNMI literature to read-alouds and incorporating literature into math.
The literature fair is actually one of the classes that the students take in a module called Language and Education. So we really believe that it's so important that we are willing to devote an entire class to this particular activity every year.
Robin Bright was a workshop presenter and one of the organizers of the event.
What we're hoping that they'll leave with is the idea that even if I'm a math major or social studies major, I am a literate person. I had to learn how to read and write in order to be successful in whatever discipline I majored in. So we really want them to bring that same understanding to kids.
Other presenters included members of the Faculty of Education and teachers from schools throughout southern Alberta. All shared a love of reading and writing and stressed the importance of incorporating literature in all subject areas.
Kids love sports, and it might be a way to help kids to develop a love for literacy is by introducing books that are related to sport and physical activity. Growing up, that's what I love to do, is play sports, and there was 10 books in my library, I think, about sports, and I knew every one because I read them 2 or 3 times. That helped me to develop a love for literacy that paid big dividends later on.
Michelle Dimnick teaches at Dr. Proby Elementary. Her session focused on encouraging the reluctant reader.
We have lots of reluctant readers, which surprises me because reading is the best thing ever, right? But it's important to match up the right book to the right kid. And so I work hard to help kids find that right book, to get excited about what they're reading and to hook those reluctant readers in. Once you get them reading, often they keep reading.
An objective of the literature fair each year is to stress to student teachers the importance of growing their own language and literacy skills.
We really hope that the student teachers will see themselves as readers first. So we want to make sure that they leave the literature fair with a number of books that they personally want to read. We believe that literacy starts there. Once they see the value of literacy in their own lives, then we know that they will help students value literacy in ways as well. So first they have to be the readers.
When we return, we'll meet the new superintendent of Lethbridge School District 51. Welcome back to A Public Education. In our final story, we meet the new superintendent of Lethbridge School District 51, Cheryl Gilmore. For Cheryl Gilmore, becoming superintendent of Lethbridge School District 51 is like coming home.
I graduated from Winston Churchill High School in Lethbridge here. Actually, my family moved to Lethbridge when I was a teenager, and that's where I attended. We moved to the north side, and I attended high school at Winston Churchill, went to University of Lethbridge, and graduated with a major in art and English.
After a teaching and administration career that took her to schools in Standoff, Cardston, and Tabor, Cheryl eventually became superintendent of the Horizon School Division. This spring, she was appointed superintendent of Lethbridge 51. One of the first items on her list of things to do was to visit each school and meet the staff.
The most significant influence on a child's life, besides the parent, is the teacher in the classroom, absolutely. It's the teachers in the classroom who are the single most significant determinant of students' success. So we need to make sure our schools are good places for teaching and learning. We need to make sure that teachers are set up for success. And that has to do with things like, do they have reasonable class composition and reasonable class size? Are we making sure that they have the resources they need? And are we making sure that they have the professional learning they need to understand the new curriculum coming out and to be able to effectively engage students in the new curriculum? So really, the division office, the superintendent, is about supporting the schools. because really the schools is where it happens.
Cheryl's list of priorities for the district include increasing student engagement, promoting health and wellness, and securing funding for programs and capital projects. And she believes increasing parental involvement in education is a key area as well.
The most successful system has schools that are connecting with parents and parents that are connecting with schools. You know, there's a synergy that happens and a resounding impact when the parents and the school are aligned, absolutely, because if the parents can reinforce what's happening at the school and the school can reinforce what's happening at home, then you sort of get that compounding learning that's happening.
Throughout her career, Cheryl has taken on a variety of new challenges and opportunities. In her new position as Superintendent of Lethbridge 51, she'll rely on her years of experience in administration, and especially her years as a teacher, to guide her through her latest role.
I think I'll always see myself as a teacher, and you know, I think that almost anyone who teaches and who leaves teaching will always think of themselves as a teacher, and again, because really that's where your most significant rewards come from. So you never forget that experience, certainly.
And that's our program. I'm Deb Firth. Join us next time for more stories about public education in Southern Alberta. And please visit our website, publiceducation.ca. Funding for A Public Education is provided by the following Southern Alberta school districts and local ATAs. And by the Faculty of Education, University of Lethbridge.